Crossing the Caledonian Canal at Gairlochy, day 2 of our walk along the Great Glen Way heads initially through woodland before dropping down to briefly traverse the lochside. We soon join the B8005, a very minor country road, and continue eastwards to the hamlet of Clunes, where we leave the road to follow a wide vehicle track for several miles through Clunes Forest. Although the track runs close to and parallel to the northern shore of the loch, it is well wooded and the water is only glimpsed from time to time. Exiting from the forest at the far end of the loch, we drop down to cross the Caledonian Canal again, where it leaves Loch Lochy at Laggan Locks, and walk along the edge of the A82 to our bed and breakfast at South Laggan. Well, this is us on day 2 now of the Great Glen Way. I didn't really get much vlogging done yesterday at all, just because, I think it was just not long after I shot that last piece to the camera. Storm Alex hit and the rain was bouncing off the ground. It was just, all I wanted to do was just get to the place where we were staying last night. So that's what we did. So today we've started off at Spean Bridge and we're now at the western end of Loch Lochy. The Great Glen Way heads along the northern side of the loch. So as you can see at the background there, there is, hoping to get some of the safe photography done, there is a little waterfall just across there, so I'll go across and check it out. In fact, you come with me, come along, we'll go over and we'll check it out. See if you're looking at my ugly mug. Go over and check out this little waterfall over here. So there's a wee bridge. And around the corner here, we have this waterfall. If you could zoom in. So somewhere in there, there's probably a nice wee composition, maybe there. Something like that could be quite nice. Okie dokie, well I'll get that set up. I want to go back and get my camera now. I'll go back and get that set up and put you through the shop. That's me all set up. I've got the camera set up just down here, pointing at the waterfall. I have got it framed in all these leaves here, which is really nice. Just the leaves of this, I think it's a beech tree, possibly. The flames across. What I don't like in the picture is this this branch that goes right across here, which is, it just kind of ruins the shot. But I've zoomed in and you can't see it. I'll probably end up cropping this shot. Obviously I won't be processing it for a little while yet, maybe next week. So I'm at f9, which has given me an exposure of 2.5 seconds. It's quite dark here. I'm ISO 100. 2.5 is probably more than enough than what I need. So actually what I'll maybe do is just change my ISO up a bit. ISO 200, 1.3 seconds. That's probably more what I need. And it keeps the ISO relatively low. Alright, so I'll just fire off the shot and we'll move on. 1, 2, 3. Click. So I'm going to move on again. I've been told, we were just talking to a guy there who was saying that there is an old boat wreck along here. So it's just a couple of 100 yards back from where we were stood before. So we'll just head back along here and we'll take a look at it. I've got no idea what it looks like. So we'll just head on, see what we can see. Because one of the problems with doing these walks is usually when you're taking photos you can hang around and wait for the right light, but we've got 10 miles to do today, so hanging around for the right light isn't going to happen. However, there may well be a wee bit of back toing and froing and whatnot, but see what we can get. Alright, so we've arrived down at the beach here and I've got my camera all set up because look at this. Look at that. It's an old wrecked boat. I don't know how old it is. We know it's ancient. I'll maybe do a bit of googling and whatnot, and we'll see if we can figure out what it actually is or where it came from. What you might also be able to see over there on the horizon, just in the distance, is a white lighthouse. They were built by Thomas Telford, who built the Caledonian Canal in 1822 or so. So, anyway, on to the shot. Picture of this boat. Just walk back up to the camera, which is over here. Again, I've got it all set up. Nicely framed. Can you see that in the shot there? Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to do all this, here's the movie and stick it in the corner of the screen and all that kind of stuff, because I just don't have time for that today. So anyway, yes, here's the shot. Are you going to focus? Go on, you want to focus, you know you want to. Well, ISO 100, f9, which gives me a half-second exposure. And here we go. 1, 2, 3. Click. So as you can see, the wind is picking up. There is rain forecast for later on today, so we will just keep on. I'll keep on vlogging until such time as I no longer can, because I think it's going to be heavy rain again later on. But again, yes, keep vlogging, keep taking photographs, and see what we're going to do. Now I'll swing the camera around a wee bit so you can see where we are. We're on the shore of Loch Lochy, which is here, and you can see if I zoom in there, this heavy cloud coming in from the west. Now that there is that's the remains of the storm coming to hit us. I can't help thinking if this, I don't think it's, no, it's not a tidal loch, so if there was more water in here, these tree trunks here would be underwater, which would be quite nice as a photo, but they're not, so I'm not going to bother. However, we shall just press on, and like I say, we'll just carry on along the trail. I'll vlog when I can, and we'll see what happens. Well, we've come up from the lochside now, and we're onto this this wee country road here. You can probably see. I'm not quite sure how far along we have to go on the road here, but we've come across this thing here. I'll just spin the camera around. This is a World War II landing craft assault, it says, an LCA. Basically, it was for practicing, for the commandos, for practicing landing on the shores, which obviously they had to do a lot during the war. So this was where they practiced. The commando units were based around here, somewhere, Auchnacarry House, which is just a little bit further along the road from here. So there is a board, an information board, which tells you all about the commandos and all about this thing and what they used with it. Now I've got the camera set up to try and grab a picture of the craft, such as it is. I'm using this log here, this branch, as a leading line coming in from the side, just filling in some of the negative space across over there on the right of the picture, on the left of the picture even. So if I bring it down here, don't know how easily you can see that. There we go, so I've got that coming in. We've got the craft in the middle on the other third, and that's it. I'll just grab the picture and then we'll move on. Oh, better focus first, there we go, then we'll move on. Click. Well, we came along just a little bit along from that landing craft that we saw a minute ago. What, about 100 yards maybe, if that? And we came across this St. Kieran's Church here, which, see if I can get the picture, there we go. Tiny wee church sitting on top of the hill, beautiful wee thing, lovely setting, so I'm going to get a picture of it. So I'm all set up, it's a very obvious shot. I'm all set up at the bottom of the track that leads up to it, which provides a fantastic little leading line directly across to it. There we are. Zoom in again, you can see it's saying half a second, f11, ISO 100. Okay, I'm at about 24mm or so. And yeah, I'll just take the shot. Click. So we've come off that road that we're on now, so we've come another 2 or 3 miles, and that road we're on suddenly turned into a forest track, a wide kind of vehicle track. You can see it down here. So again, it's a relatively dull kind of walk. It's sparked by or marked by the occasional waterfall like this one behind me here, coming down onto the track. Nice enough waterfall, but the foreground's a bit rubbish, so I'm not going to do a photo of it. However, that's us. I'll check in again later on, see where the route takes us next. So we're still walking along this forest trail here. I mean, it's really passing along the edge of the loch, but it's the loch has been out of sight for most of it. There's been not a great deal of scenery. The sun has come out from time to time, so it's not been unpleasant. It's just been long and a bit wearying, with not much to look at. So not much to photograph either. However, like I say, it's starting to brighten up. We've still got low cloud now, so you can see this. See that? That low cloud over the top there. I'm sure that hill goes a lot higher than that does. So yeah, we're going to carry on. We've hit must be about the what, 8.5 mile mark now, something like that. And this road has been going on forever. And I think it carries on like this really until we get to the end. So let's just see how we do. So we've finally reached the end of that forest track through Clunes Forest. It's about 8 miles just through the trees with not a great deal of scenery whatsoever. So I haven't done much in the way of photography. I've shown you some of the ones that I've taken, but wasn't to work with what we've got. However, anyway, we're here now. We've reached the end of the road. We're heading towards the eastern end of Loch Lochy. We're right along the northern shore, along that forest track. And yeah, so we're approaching South Laggan, where we're staying tonight. So I'm just going to grab a photo here, looking down the track towards South Laggan. So not a bad view overall. Let's turn that around there. You can see it. We've got the road reaching away out there. I'm zoomed in quite a bit in the camera, about 50 odd mil. So if I zoom right in, there we go. We can see. That's kind of the shot I'm after, something like that. You see in the back of the camera here, maybe. There we go. So we're looking at a quarter second f13, ISO 100. As I say, just over 50 mils. Stop waving that about. There we go, and I'm focus in, and well, that's it. We've made it to the end of day 2, and I tell you what, I am absolutely knackered. That was actually, we thought it was a 9.5 mile walk, and it turned out that it was somewhere closer to 12, which we weren't expecting. So spent a lot of time this morning faffing about taking photographs, and then we had to march along that forest road as fast as we could because we had to be here. This is our lodgings here, Forest Lodge it's called, in South Laggan. Yeah, we had to be here for about 6 o'clock or so because they had a meal all reserved for us, which was very nice. The spaghetti bolognese, which was delicious, and then we had some ginger cake after that. So yeah, we'll be staying here overnight tonight. Let me show you the room. This is our room. Let's flip the camera around. Turn it around, turn it around, turn it around. There we go. So we've got my tripods, towel on the floor, what a midden, shoes and suitcases and toilet bags and maps and all sorts of stuff. Phones, lights, Gillian's bag, etc, etc. So yeah, that's us. Right, so let me just flip my screen up again so I can see myself. There I am. What a handsome devil. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to call it a day at that for now. Should get some more vlogging done tomorrow because it's going to be relatively nice again. It's not going to be a downpour, put it that way. So that'll be tomorrow's walk. We'll be doing from Fort Augustus. No, we're not. We're going from here at South Laggan to Fort Augustus. So we'll see you for that. If you've enjoyed this and if you want to see that next one, it might be a good idea for you to like the video. If you could subscribe to the channel, that would be a great help as well, because the channel's still quite young, so I'm still trying to grow it. So yeah, really appreciate it if you would subscribe. And finally, if you could hit the little bell icon, and that will mean you get to see everything that I post. So all the remaining Great Glen Way posts that I make, which should go on for the next 5 or 6 weeks, maybe something like that. They'll all be up here. So yeah, hit that little bell icon and you get to see all them. So, call it a day at that. Bye for now.